Facebook profile? Okay. All right. So we're live, guys. Coach David here with Metro Jiu-Jitsu and my boy, Professor Muhammad. How we doing today, man?
Doing good. Coach Fox, what's going on?
Not much, dog. So this is crazy. There's a chick in Columbus. She lived with my brother for a little bit. I can't remember her name. But her last name is Fox. So she lived with my brother. His name is Philip Fox. She lived with him for, I don't know the situation. But then she started training. She did like Taekwondo for a little bit, started training Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
Got her blue belt, started coaching. And they called her Coach Fox. I was like, that's a missed opportunity. So I was like, there's no reason at all why I should, because everyone else calls me Fox. Outside the mat. Like you ever see me outside of a jiu-jitsu academy? Fox or David, perfectly cool, right? So everyone else calls me Fox outside of here.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, man, I just should have. I missed it. I was like, can I rebrand a name? I'm gonna try. So like, what's funny though? Here's what's really funny, is I'll answer the phone like, yo, this is Coach Fox. Set an appointment or whatever, and then they'll come to the academy and they'll be like, hey, I was like, what's up? They're like, what's your name? I was like, I'm David. You know, they're like, oh, I was talking to Coach Fox. And I'm like, oh. It depends if they have an issue or not. If they got a complaint, I'll be like, yeah, I'll talk. I'll see what we can do.
We rebranded you into Coach Fox.
Yeah, I tried. I mean, it's still like 50-50. You know, like some people are like Coach David. I mean, because there are terabytes of videos of, you know, Coach David or whatever. So just don't call me late for supper, man. That's all I care about. We got a good topic today, though, man. So we've, you know, a lot of people know that they call jiu-jitsu a cult. You know, there's a lot of tradition to it, and I think people come into jiu-jitsu. It's like a whole brand new, it's a whole new ecosystem that you're getting into. So you've got, you know, there's belts and there's ranks and there's even titles, right? Like so, yeah. You got coach, you've got
sensei,
you have sensei, you have
master.
Dude, have you seen the cut scene from Cobra Kai?
I've watched all of them.
It's a cut scene from Cobra Kai where whoever the blonde dude is, he's like walking past a jiu-jitsu academy.
Johnny?
I don't know. The villain in the first one.
Johnny.
Okay. All right. So they walk past and he's like, is this guy giving you problem, master? And the student was black and the coach was white. And then he's like, yeah, well, at least in my school, we don't let people call us master, you know, because he's sensei. And then he's like, you did good, master. And he just looks at the black student. He's like, coach is fine. they cut it out.
That reminds me of the ad that we created that didn't make it to.
I'm still not sure how I got overran by that. Like we went through a production, we filmed it, and then like you went home and Nancy was like, "There's no way we can run this ad," and I was like, "All right, well, we got it. Keanu helped us film it. It's all wrapped, right? It's all prepped."
I mean, I
mean, it's your people. If you, to me, in my experience, Arab's got a sense of humor, so I think it would have flown well, but apparently not. I don't know. Apparently, it would have triggered some. So.
It was more multiracial than the Arab issue.
Yeah. There was we got some there was some white shade in there too. We are talking about the tradition. Is tradition in jiu-jitsu important?
Yeah.
And what traditions are important, and I guess let's go into. Some people train, and it's super dependent on the schools. But what are some traditions? And because if you go into like a karate school, you're gonna do it. It's gonna be like, you know, they all bow into class. They bow to their coach or whatever, and then it's far more traditional than jiu-jitsu. So, what are some jiu-jitsu traditions that schools might practice? Formalities, if you will.
I mean, lately, over the last 10 years, you know, even almost 20 years ago, it's been a very, very like informal, almost unorganized culture.
It depends on the school.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, I don't know how like the big chains like the Gracie Barra, I don't know how and where they were 20 years ago, and we weren't really taught by Brazilians like solely.
Right.
But I mean, Brazilians definitely, you know, going back many years,
take it pretty serious. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They take jiu-jitsu very serious, and you can tell that it's that is everything to them.
Sure.
There's nothing else. So, from our experience at Metro, and you and I coming up, like we really haven't experienced any firsthand. I mean, with Bruno, I have.
Well,
with Bruno,
yeah,
I can tell you.
I can tell you.
speak to that.
So I can tell you, like, one for sure, right? You go into some academies and they've got a picture of Helio on the wall, and you bow to Helio. You bow to the, that I think is, at first I thought it was like a super freaking weird, but to bow to the mat, you bow to the mat, and then you bow off the mat. Obviously, we don't do that at Metro.
Traditional karate, taekwondo, that is like, it still happens it still goes till today.
I know. And so the bowing on the mat is one. Again, we don't practice it at Metro, but I will, like, if I'm visiting, I don't know. I don't want to step on any toes or anything. So I'm like, I'll bow on the mat.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
That would be funny seeing David bow.
Like, it's not like a significant, but I pretty much just like bow, and it's more like a head nod. Like I do it at tournaments. Like if you maybe watch, like I go every tournament, like I just kind of slap bow, because you don't know, like I don't want to ruffle any feathers, and if I'm competing because I don't really know or ask who was organizing that tournament for sure. IBJJF. I mean, not that I care what they think, but like they're very formal, very traditional.
Yeah.
The War on the Shores that we went to, grappling industry, all those things. So it's like there's a little bit of that tradition. But the one thing I can't really get behind is like turning. I haven't been around when they've had to do it, but some, like especially like the Red Shield, Gracie Baja, like they'll have Helio on the wall. And now we all bowing to Helio, like you're approaching idol worship in my head.
Yeah.
And I will not. I don't bow to another man.
Yeah, and it's interesting you say that, because that's obviously, I mean, you can't worship anybody except God.
Right.
But I went to a school. I did a drop-in. I was doing some stand-up fighting, and I wanted to get some different bodies. And one of the ways the instructor, we had to bow before class, right? Mm-hmm. And
this must have been back in the day then, eh?
Yeah, this was 30 years ago.
Yeah, okay.
So the person did not put their hands on their side; they put it on their front thigh, and they went like this.
Okay.
So that's a clear sign of like bowing to or worshiping something or somebody, or So the instructor and I looked at that guy and I'm like, that's a little bit off. And the instructor explained it. He's like, look, when you bow, and there were like different cultures inside that school.
Sure.
He said, when you bow, you're not bowing to worship. You're not bowing to pray. You're bowing as a sign of respect.
Sure.
And when I first got started in martial arts, like it was odd. So I just made sure, for me, I bowed. I made sure I made eye contact with my person.
Yeah.
And if your intentions is a sign of respect, and that's how some cultures say hello or thank you. Mm-hmm. I don't really see an issue with it, but it can easily turn into like worshiping somebody, which is like, that's a whole nother
Coach Keanu, while we're continuing on, I'm also curious, guys, if you're following along, let me know how this stream is going, because it looks like there might be a little bit of a lag. It looks like we're okay. Let me know if like just let me know, make sure my mouth is matching my face and everything like that. But why we shake hands? I like this. I learned this when I was 7. I thought it was the coolest thing.
Where'd you learn it?
Probably Sunday school. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. It was
entertain me.
So it was to show you didn't have a weapon. So because a lot of times you would have your knife or your blade on one side, and so it's like to show like, hey, that's where everyone was right-handed, right? Most of them were right-handed back in the day. So you're like, okay, I mean no harm, because here I'm raising my right hand. You can see I don't have a sword or a dagger or anything on this. To the point to where like there's a story. I want to say it's Judges. I want to say it's Judges, don't get me wrong, but like the one dude, like he was left-handed, and so he would show, but then he has dagger on his left side and ended up killing the king or whatever. So like the king was so fat his blade stuck in him. But that's why we shake hands now.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, so
I'm sure Indians had something to do with that then.
Red dot or feather?
Feather.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we kind of kind of didn't do them well. We did a lot of dirty people, a lot of people dirty coming over with our hostile takeover. What did we find out about is it like Asian culture, Eastern culture?
Yeah, what I found here is, I just searched Eastern culture, bowing for respect, history, and misconceptions. It says it's mainly Japan, Korea, China, and Thailand.
Okay,
That's
sure.
like where students are rooted from.
Yeah.
And then, like the reason, just basic reason, historical roots is across all these traditions, bowing isn't just a greeting, it's a moral act, a visible symbol of harmony, gratitude, and acknowledgement of one's place in the social order, which is interesting because I also asked for misconceptions, and it said a sign of inferiority or submission, a religious act, a rigid custom. Like those are misconceptions about it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I know my dad did a lot of work in Taiwan. And so with the auto industry, and they would they would bow, and then at some point, person would bow lower and lower, so, but it's a sign of respect. And so that's one in jiu-jitsu that like bowing to, that can be really strange. Like if you're coming from like basketball or football or whatever you're doing, and you're like, hey, we've got to, that's one tradition. What's another one? That I know
in
Bruno's
jiu-jitsu?
got. Yeah, sure. Another tradition or formality. Some people would call this cultic.
Well, another one is the handshake. You slap and bump.
Yeah, I like it. I think that's really cool.
Yeah. Like that's another tradition. That's
Or let's say tradition or even policy. Like if you go to Bruno, right?
yeah.
What can you not wear at Bruno's school?
Would that be considered a tradition on what
think-
you wear?
I
I
think-
think
I
that's
think
more of
so.
a rule.
But it's certainly it's very traditional. Like is wearing white gis only, super traditional. like to the point, I don't even think I owned a white gi. Like when I went there, I was like, I don't have a white gi.
A tradition that they have there that I really like is after class, all of the students line up and they shake the instructor's hand. And we actually have that tradition here at Metro with the kids. And
For the coaches or the comp kids.
yeah, and I think that right there is when you don't shake hands with the coach, give him a hug or whatever it is after class. I think that is the beginning of the disconnect where all of like where jiu-jitsu gets like the unloyalty starts. Or the commercialization starts on the consumer side, right?
So yeah, it's kind of strange. Like, and I think so. A lot of times, like people, I'm gonna see if I've got that. So today was Bring Your Kid to Work Day for me. Amanda is I don't know where she's at. Somehow I've got Jay, and he was
Our
watching.
little buddy Jay.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see, that's two. I might have to bounce, go get him here in a second, but he'll join me on my lap. He'll be fine. When you come from, like, people want, there's a tight knit brotherhood that comes from training, right? And then you have, and that comes from training and grappling together, sweating together, doing combat. Like, I think that's deeply rooted. So you have that aspect of that camaraderie.
Yeah.
And then, but people, it's weird because you've got, how do you balance customer service? And because at the end, it's like a business, right? Unless you're a jiu-jitsu club and you're like, hey, listen, some of our guys are going to get together. People don't like that though. Like, we're going to get together and catch as catch can. It just falls apart. It falls apart. Like it's low attendance, and it's kind of a social club at that point. So you run a jiu-jitsu academy. You got bills, you got rent, you're paying coaches, you got freaking insurance. Insurance is ridiculous, especially after that lawsuit. So now you've got to run it like there are business principles you need to enact.
Yeah.
But you're still trying to keep that family feel. And so my personal favorite is when someone's like, they want to be like, yo, I'm a paying customer. And I'm like, all right, well, if you want to play the paying customer line, then we'll play the not that I would, but like, you want to like, when it's to your benefit, you want to be like, oh, but coach, I thought we were family, yada yada. But then when it's also to your benefit, I'm a paying customer and I need A, B, C, D, or E. And so I think it's an incredibly difficult balancing act to manage both sides, because I think there's tradition is important. Certain traditions, like, we don't have a photo of Helio on the wall, but there's also that keeping it relevant to the culture, to the culture of where, and I'll even say where you're at. Like, I trained in Kona, like they had like it was really strange. It was they have a lot of Polynesian influence in Hawaii. And so, like, so they had, of course, the Brazilian flag, they had the American flag, and then they had, like, I can't, names of islands I can't even remember. Like, I want to say Samoa maybe was one, and, like, others. But, like, so that was really important to them. So that would be, like, the equivalent, pardon the expression, of us, like, putting, like, a Detroit Lions, banner up or so, like, because that's, like, really important to your team. So I think they're important. But like it can be off-putting to people a little bit. They're like, well, why do I have to bow here? Oh, they only allow white geese. We don't. But certain schools do. And I'll be honest, you show me a picture of a team in mixed match geese, and show me a picture of a team in all white geese. That all white geese, that's stud status. Like, those photos look great. But people like expression. We have a uniform policy, we have a Metro uniform policy at the gym. You got to wear a Metro rash guard, right? Now people have, they found a loophole to it. They're getting like they found a way to get the Metro branding on stuff they buy offline. I don't care, dude. But the team looks the same.
You remember at another school we were at, and you put your own logo on there, and then you put your own logo or you made your own patch, and someone's like, dude, you can't do that. That's like copyright infringement or something.
So it was, so that was, man. That was Blanky got furious. Blanky got upset. Yeah, because it was, so they had
that's a revenue source, because you had to pay for patches. So
I'm knowing Blanky, it wasn't about the money, man. It was just like, but Hebera was very traditional, right?
Yeah.
So Hebera was a very traditional school, and they just had these ugly patches. Like, the ugly patches are still, I haven't seen a patch that I'm like, I haven't seen a patch where I'm like, it's my phone, don't worry. I haven't seen a patch where I'm like, yo, that looks great. Like, patches look awful. So that's why all of our geese are embroidered. We work with Alan Kropp's mom she works with the Red Wings, Detroit Lions, and Allen Park. Like, they do, I can't remember the name of the company. They do all of our custom embroidery. You don't have to buy your geese from us. Go buy a freaking hawk gi off Amazon. Just get it embroidered. I don't care. Right? So I got the Hebera logo, the 6-blade. But, well, it was before 6-blade existed. It was when the brothers were still together. They didn't split. And I just went and got it embroidered. Dude, he was like, he's like, you can't do that. It's copyright infringement to what you're saying. And
is that what he said?
Yeah. Okay. He's like, which is not true, actually. So because that falls on, who cares, right? Like, me and Blake, we're tight with Blanket, but like, I can put any logo I want on any of my clothes. That falls under the fair use of the copyright. What I can't do is then sell geese with that. So I was like, I could go put a Marvel Iron Man logo on my gi right now.
Well, that was around the time when Salo was really trying to grow his organization and his affiliation. That was the time when they were like, I think Chris Blanky out of Badger Jiu-Jitsu, right?
Badger style
Jiu-Jitsu in Toledo. Yeah, that was the time when he was like I had in charge of the organization and growing it with affiliates. At that time, Salo had just finished his run. What is he? 7-time world champion?
Dude,
yeah. And he was
Sanchi might have surpassed him, actually.
Yeah, and Salo had he was just mean. He was like a pit bull. He was just a mean competitor.
Salo is an animal.
Yeah, and you know what?
Is an animal.
When I was coming up as a white belt, I really gravitated to that because he had a style that was like, it's like pulling the trigger. It's like shooting a gun, pulling the trigger. It was like attack. It's not. He was younger, obviously, and he was like one of the pioneers in jiu-jitsu. And Salo, like he just came out and just tried to like murder his opponent. And as a competitor, that's one of the things that I gravitated to at the time.
You know he's a judge in Brazil.
Judge? Like
Like
you go to court type judge?
Like judge and gavel. Like, yeah. Now, what a judge in Brazil looks like, I don't know. But like he's literally back in Brazil, I think, as a judge. Like, or like, because he was a judge prior, then so which is that's kind of crazy. Like that's kind of crazy. But he is, so. Look at old Habero. I'm gonna pull some up on it in the meantime. Look at old Habero footage, and like that is jiu-jitsu, dude. I remember that, like that is violent jiu-jitsu. And his stuff was just like we mount, we choke. That was their thing. Like we mount, we choke, and it was just so ABC fundamental, but performed with precision and so
commitment.
So, yeah, and they were very, very much like, I remember one time we were at in Blanky again, like he came up to Dearborn, and dude, he like, it was for a seminar or something, a promotions, and like half the team didn't have patches. And so he literally starts I don't even know how he did it. He found a printer. He starts handing out. He's like literally going around the room. Hey, here's a copy of our bylaws, by the way. Hey, here's a copy of our bylaws, by the way. Hey, here's a copy.
Students?
To add like everyone in the gym without a patch. And Danny, Danny, he's not going to respond to that well. He's like, I'll handle it, okay? It's like, he was so pissed.
Was this at Oakwood?
It was at their new spot. In Michigan, right off Michigan Avenue, dude. He was so pissed. And I'm just thinking, I remember thinking like, dude, that's kind of petty. Like just, talk to Danny and be like, hey, dude, we got to get patches on these guys or whatever. But I could see where people, I could see where it could rub people the wrong way.
Yeah, and talking about tradition, like I used to go down to Toledo and train with Chris Blanky.
Yeah, still a great school, dude. I haven't been down there recently.
Yeah,
he must have 15 black belts.
Oh, he's loaded.
Yeah,
he's loaded with them over there. But I learned a lot from him. Like little things I learned, not just technique, and just like as you're training jiu-jitsu, there's a process of succeed and fail. There's
Sure.
highs and lows. And I definitely learned a lot from Chris Blanky on just how to what's really happening in that journey of jiu-jitsu. And he was he is a real martial artist. I mean, he's done.
He's how many black belts does he hold?
He owns
Kung Fu, Wing Chun. He's a Wing Chun black belt.
Yep.
He's obviously a jiu-jitsu black belt. Why do I feel like he's a black belt in Taekwondo?
No, he's done it's either Sambo or the full contact fighting with.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, so he did this many years ago. So,
wow.
As far as tradition, Chris Blanky is he's an old school. He's an old school coach, and he kind of reminds me of Alvarez, because Alvarez's culture and tradition is very simple. You come to me with a problem, you come to me for a reason to train, and I'm going to hold you accountable. And his culture / tradition is look, you say you want something, so let's get to work. And if he sees you not working, slack and being lazy, he doesn't. Alvarez doesn't even factor in that you're a paying customer.
Not at all.
No,
not at all.
No,
and I
think that's a tradition that is lost today. We baby our students way too much.
You and I have gotten in fights over this, because I'm like, you reached out to. I didn't come to your house. I didn't come begging you to join the team.
Yeah.
None of that happened. Right. At some point, you found us at some point in the funnel. and you filled out a form on our website. You called us up. You came to me, and you said this is what you wanted, both for your kid or the adult. This is what you said that you wanted. And then when things got, you started school, or you got a new job, or you got a girlfriend, or you got married, your goals didn't change. You compromised on your goals. Yeah. And if you were my son or my brother, I would call you out way harder than I actually do.
Right.
But because I'm, if you don't want to Coach David's going to be a butthole, right? Like, oh, he, told me off. Like, sometimes I will. Sometimes I will. But like, and if you go on Alvarez's reviews, all of his 1-star reviews are for holding people accountable. Like, if you watch them, like read them, and you can tell, like, dude, this chick is just a miserable wench. Like I don't want her anywhere near me or my family. Or this dude is like, he's a real loser, because they wanted, I don't know what you expect. To me, that is a true coach of like, hey, coach, I want to lose weight. I definitely want to learn self-defense. And then when 2-3 weeks go by and I don't show up to class, and you've got a picture of me on a milk carton on the Facebook group, and you're like, yo, guys, where's this at? Last I saw him, he was out eating pizza and drinking beer. Like I would respond very well to that. I'm like, he's right, man. He's really right.
Yeah. But see, here's the thing, and this is why you and I sometimes we clash on this a little bit.
Sure.
A lot of people don't, and unfortunately,
that's a loser mentality. Sorry, I'm sorry.
It is.
You deserve the results you get then. I shouldn't have to want it more than you. Why should I want to, you're coming to me. How does it make sense that I want success more than you do? I want to lose weight, coach. Eat right and go train.
Yeah.
There you go.
I agree with you. You're 100% right. But when somebody is I'll just say that some people just need more
hand holding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people need more hand holding, and it's unfortunate, but that portion of the tradition of martial arts, I believe, is lost. Where there's no such thing as hand holding, and there's a time and a place for it, but I just think that so many more people need hand holding. Because everybody's holding their hand. Everything they do in life is made easier. Everything. We're talking about ChatGPT before. Everything is made easier, and anytime you go through a struggle or things get hard, there's an easier way to do it, and there is no easy way in jiu-jitsu. There's no easy way to learn and train. The path is very, very. It's on gravel. It's bumpy.
Yeah.
We got
a couple questions here.
Yeah.
Pre-built questions. Probably none in the chat. He would have flagged me down. Where
are you seeing them? Because there's nothing on.
No,
Facebook.
I'm saying questions like that we wrote ahead of time. None in the chat as well. Are big franchised gyms good or bad for jiu-jitsu?
Big franchise gyms?
Yeah. So I can't really think of a franchise. I mean, I can if you're thinking of what are we doing?
I'm taking a picture.
What are we doing?
I think
somebody wants to see a
I think he's
picture.
taking a selfie.
This is a live.
We just took a live selfie.
All right.
And we took it in a square, so I cropped us off.
Every time I see a selfie, I think of that one was it the Emmys or the Oscars with that whole crew.
How 80% of the celebrities are canceled.
Yeah. So, do franchise gyms are they good or bad for jiu-jitsu culture? While you answer that, I'm going to make sure my son's alive. Go ahead and answer that.
Our franchise gyms. I mean, we're considered a franchise. We have
Alvarez,
That's
right?
not true.
Yeah, well, Metro Jiu-Jitsu. Well, we're both owned by Metro, but we have 2 locations. And I mean, franchise are about having a system, a process, and being uniform and universal, just like McDonald's. The goal is to have the same experience and the same taste and flavor every time you go there. So I think there's a lot of really good things that come out of it, because when you're talking about fighting and training martial arts, things are never really fluid. Emotions change the way people act and react. They change the way people, parents act and react. So, are they good? I think that they could streamline a lot of things. But when you streamline a lot of things, you also have to put some rules in there, like what you can do and what you can't do. We talked about the uniform policy and curriculums. If you have a franchise, you have to follow a curriculum. I mean, I know that some of these franchises give you guidelines to follow, or they give you certain techniques or whatever to go to. But jiu-jitsu is so you have to be so flexible and fluid. And one position like De La Hiva could lead to multiple different guards, multiple different sweeps, multiple different attacks. So I think too much restriction on a franchise is definitely not good. But I'm not involved in one. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if any of our listeners are part of any big franchises.
So, Coach,
I've heard some things, but I don't want to put anybody on blast here because I haven't verified it.
Yeah, I mean, so Coach Dennis is dating a girl. She trains at Gracie Baja, and they get a lot of shade because they're very traditional, and they're very. I mean, there's things that they do that we don't. I mean, it can feel like. I mean, they charge for belts. I think there's belt tests there.
I mean, that was a tradition early on.
Yeah, sure.
You don't pay for stripes. You don't pay for belts. The instructor pays for the stripes. The instructor or the school pays for the belts. And I thought that was cool because every other martial art in the U.S. has been prostituted where you have to pay for your promotion.
You're paying for. Yeah, I mean, I didn't realize Coach Christian.
You have to pay for testing, and some jiu-jitsu places
that's
do
what
it.
It was paying for testing. Yeah,
and I don't disagree with it, but
I mean, to me, it's I don't feel just. And again, it's what do you want? You want everything all included, or do you want to be nickel and dimed? It's not wrong. I understand it. Any type of business or a group you want to be part of, you understand their processes, you go with it.
Yeah.
I think overall, even Gracie Baja, they're still the number one team in the world.
They're the biggest.
Yeah, I mean they're the largest, but you're still number one team, and they're still good jiu-jitsu. I don't know why they get a lot of shade. I really don't. Next question I've got here is if people are just paying for a service, can discipline and respect still be taught? Yeah, I think so. One thing I think that has helped. I was talking to I ended up on a Jason Flame's podcast as a guest, and he just started jiu-jitsu. He's a traditional martial artist.
Jason who?
Flame. He's a jiu-jitsu white belt, but he's got several black belts in other arts. And he was saying that his coach will, at the end of each class, he's under Machado. There's a coachable moment. We call them mat chats with the kids.
Yeah.
And parents love that. We have, we talk about whatever it is. If it's our power phrase for the month. But we don't, it's not like a staple and something that we I mean, it will come up, sure, in jiu-jitsu, but to be to have this kind of mantra, I like that. Coach Alvarez calls it mental vitamins. Coach Bruno, he's actually got, his, if you train with him, he's got a pre-recorded soundbite that he'll just literally the class ends and he turns the TV on of his pre-recorded, kind of motivational thing of whatever about, how jiu-jitsu reflects on life. And that is, I like that. But again, that really irritates some people because they're like, how are you qualified to give me life advice? Listen, if that's not what you're looking for, man. And I would also add, nobody has it all together, period. So anyone who qualified, what does success look like? I mean, if you got the multimillionaire who's never sees his family or kids, and then, at the end of his life, or fast forward 15 years, he got a divorce. He lost. Like, that's failure, right? You got a lot of money and you missed the big things. So I guess it comes down to sharing, so long as there's not this like authoritarian, you all bow to me. I like those things because Alvarez shares like his struggles, things that he's dealing with. Like he's relevant. He's like, hey, listen, guys, I'm not exempt. Like, I've got that whole thing he was going with. He's relocating because of the rent issue down there in Texas. Like, it just became unaffordable, and like that's a huge hurdle. Like he was telling me the numbers, and I was like, dude, like that. It was like that's a big hurdle that he had overcome, and just kind of sharing things like that. But I don't know how do you think the team would respond if we just started doing like motivation, how we do it sometimes, but it's not like a staple. I don't know how they would respond. I think some people would think it's like they would roll their eyes at it.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I think we do it now. With the kids, it's a lot more structured. But with the adults, we do talk about it. Like the things that are important to me, things that are important to you, we have to remind them, what they are. Like what we're talking about now with both the kids and adults is habit. We both have habits. Mm-hmm. And you got to recognize that you have habits. You have good ones, you have bad ones.
Yeah.
And you can easily fall into like, ones either are bad or they just waste time.
Yeah.
And we do that, and like kids don't realize they have a habit of waking up every day and saying, Mom, where's my shoes? Or Mom, where's my this? Or Mom, where's my that? That's a habit. We remind kids of that.
Sure.
And we have our own habits as adults. We have our own habits of like, I call it prioritizing what we should and shouldn't do, and we have a habit of justifying why we should not exercise. And we have a lot of different options to choose from, but it becomes a habit on why we shouldn't go.
Yeah.
Even if it's an injury. We have so much to choose from, but this habit, once worked and strengthened, it actually it takes you away from fitness. It takes you away from making healthy choices. And, even people with good habits, they fall off once in a while, but just recognizing that, as a habit, as a martial artist, or if you train martial arts, it keeps you more on track to establish good habits and make the harder decision. And that's kind of what it's about. So
yeah. So another question on the roster here. Eric, by the way, says
Eric who?
Eric Johnson. So Heather's husband.
What's up, Eric?
I feel like there are great things that come from franchise gyms, but they tend to heavily dilute the traditions of jiu-jitsu and the core values of the originating gym in ways. It can, yeah. I mean, I think it depends on the ironclad agreement of the franchise agreement. I think most good franchises still allow their franchisees to affiliate with some autonomy, some personality with that. Can you still call it jiu-jitsu if there's no mention of honor, discipline, or personal growth? So here's where...
Is that a question?
Yeah. Well, no. It's one of our drafted ones, right? So I think there's context to it. There's context to it. So, like we're talking about jiu-jitsu open coming up in Frankenmuth, where it's a team tournament, and there's a lot of matches there. And I told the guys, and the guys and gals, I told the team, I said, hey, so you're going to get a lot of matches, and you can sign up for both, and you get like 6, 7, 8 matches, whatever. My request would be, whatever you sign up for, you compete. You do. Because the tendency is, because there's a few hour gap in between bracket one, like gi and no gi. And so what can happen is, whether you win or lose your first bracket, you're like, man, I'm tired. I'm not going to do it. I'm just not going to do the no gi. Or I already won my bracket. I'm not going to do the no gi, or vice versa. And so I said, in short, do what you said you would do. You signed up for both divisions. Do that. If you sign up for that one, you don't have to make weight, but you sign up for a tournament, make the weight you said you would compete at. Not making weight is unacceptable. Like, period. It's disrespectful to your opponents. It's disrespectful to your coach and the name on that. And so, make the weight you said you would do. But just sign up for it and do what you said you would do with that. So honor, discipline, personal growth, and that is, to me, is one of the greatest things of tournaments. It's one of the reasons I still compete. Not only do I like to, I like to lead from the front, and I think it helps the team to see me out there. But I'm always planning for something. I'm prepping. Like, yeah, I don't really want to compete at 220.
Are you competing at JIU Jitsu?
Yeah, I'm competing at jiu-jitsu. I'm competing at Tap Cancer Out the week prior. So, and then there would have been the Atlanta Open I was going to do the week after to go down and see Adam, but something in my calendar. Oh yeah, I can't make that one. So it would have been 3 tournaments in 3 weekends, but there I don't want to compete at 220. So I make sure not to get fat and sloppy and get to 220. That's as simple as that. That's my fitness program. Is like I don't want to face guys that are heavier than me, so I don't become heavier than me. What's your take on discipline, honor, and personal growth, and emphasizing those things in jiu-jitsu as a martial art?
I think discipline is if you have a big enough why, like a very, very serious one that is just keeps you up at night, then discipline becomes easy. And discipline only means the discipline to go to the gym 2 days or 3 days a week. That's it. And
do what you said you would do.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. Do what you said you would do to yourself. Discipline. To yourself.
But if you don't have enough big of a why, then obviously you're not going to do it. And you think you do, but you really don't.
Yeah.
You think you do, but you have other whys in so many areas of your life.
We got a question. That's good.
No, yeah, our signal seems like it's really bad. Our output. Professor looks like super jittery right now.
Is he tweaking? Let's see here.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone else can hear this. If anyone can just signal off if they...
Eric, I don't know if Eric's still there. How is the... so it's on Muhammad. Okay, kick it to me. What happens if you kick it to me? Boop. So if you guys can let us know how the audio is.
Yeah, I can listen to it, but I have to...
Yeah, you'd have to, let in the comments, you guys. So
So audio is good, but there is a delay. The image is like delaying.
So the mouth is not syncing up with the...
Yeah, because that sounded like a bit of an echo.
Well, that's not
good. Audio is good, but
that's not good.
A bit of a delay. But yeah.
So I look like Britney Spears lip syncing.
Right now, your output's looking pretty fine.
Okay.
You know, it's jittery. Let me cut back to Professor real quick.
Where are you watching?
I'm on Facebook right now.
Facebook? Face space? As my dad calls it.
Face space?
Yeah.
But Professor was like, jittery. It was weird.
All right.
Maybe it's a light?
Maybe.
No, we're back. We're somehow back. We must have just been for a couple. Audio fine, but the image does delay, so pay the cost. Thank you so much for that comment. We appreciate the touch base. Yeah, I think I caught it fairly quickly, but...
Image does delay. Okay.
It looks like we're back for now. Oh,
okay.
Professor's got a bit of a glitch. Professor, can you just raise your arm up for me real quick? Yeah.
I see that.
That takes a couple seconds. You put your arm back down. Thank you.
Yeah,
I just
see that.
It's not
because we're going to 4 destinations.
Yeah,
right
do you
now.
see how his arm super jittery? It's some sort of...
We're going to 4 destinations. We're asking a lot of our streaming service right now.
But you think it's just the Wi-Fi?
It could be the Wi-Fi.
How's the audio?
Audio's good. So audio, everyone says audio is good. So, one of the final questions anyway is, does every gym need a lineage? Does lineage still matter? That's a great question.
Lineage?
Lineage. Desyncing real.
Yeah, of course.
I don't think it does.
Hell yeah, it does.
I don't think it does. I mean, I think it matters, like, if it's a true jiu-jitsu black belt, but I don't who cares? Like, who cares?
Bro, lineage is a story of how you got here. Like your story, your instructor's story. Like, I think lineage is very, very important.
Well, I guess it matters to the individual.
You mean like your lineage matters to you?
Yeah,
my lineage, yeah.
Yeah, but I think like if you're gonna tell, like, I would not. There was someone was saying, like, you ready for? I was thinking about this. Someone's commented something. They're like,
You're not going to get us shadow
this,
ban.
this is important. This is important. Coach Alvarez is a multiple-time world champion. Champion. And great competitors do not by default make great coaches.
True.
I can show you world champions who have rape charges against them. So possibly convictions. So like when someone's like, well, you can, like we have no world champions, black belt coaches at Metro at the moment. Okay. An adult world champion really means, in my opinion, adult, right? So we could now go to masters. But the question is, how is your coaching ability? And I can speak from learning from Sal. Salo's got great principles and fundamentals, but he's a natural stud of an athlete. I think learning from someone who had to like the ability to break it down into simple terms and principles to where the average Joe can understand, like that is a completely different skill set. The ability to perform said task and the ability to communicate how to perform said task, two very different skill sets.
Yeah.
I'll even ask, I mean, are you up on football? You know-ish?
They lost their first game, so I haven't really watched them
Is
since.
there, who is the best, who's arguably one of the best football coaches right now?
Right now,
I'm
it's definitely not a Lions coach.
Okay.
I like you. I like him, but
okay. Well, whoever. Like,
I don't know.
Pick one. Okay, let's pick the Lions coach because Gamble.
Yeah.
Campbell.
Dave Gamble.
Dave Campbell. Okay. Did he play football?
I think he did.
Yes.
Maybe.
Was he
a
like
pro
an MVP? Like he
no,
has
no.
was he has several Super Bowls under his belt?
I don't think so.
Oh, he's trash then. Yeah, we don't need him. He's trash. That's the argument.
Yeah.
That's the argument. How about what about basketball coach? Who coaches LeBron James' team? Does LeBron still play? I don't know.
Yeah.
Who's the Lakers coach or whoever he plays for?
Take Phil Jackson. He was a basketball player, but he wasn't like an MVP All-Star.
Who's he coach? Is he a coach? Phil Jackson?
He was, yeah.
Okay.
The Michael Jordan coached only for a year.
Okay. How'd his team do? That's actually a good.
Yeah, his standard is way too high for everybody.
Yeah.
He didn't do
Okay.
good.
So, but that's the point, right? And so I think lineage, like to the concept that because there's a myth or misconception that the closer you are to original Gracie's, the purer and better your jiu-jitsu. That's just it's not true. It's not true anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I understand lineage is important because you don't want like some fake black belt. Like I think that's authenticity. But like where you got your black belt from, dude, there are so many black belts now. Back when it first started, it was important, and the Gracie's in short, it was important because it was a branding thing. Gracie is a brand name, and so like that's very important. But I will take. I mean, I know some. I'd say this to him. I know some Hoist Gracie brown belts that would get dusted by our blue belts. Like they would give him a very hard time. What's that saying? And Hoist is the man. Like Hoist is obviously. Well, am I going to argue about Hoist? Like he's the man. But so I don't think it means much. I think it means something to the individual, but to the quality of jiu-jitsu, it doesn't mean much.
I mean, we've never really argued that point. World champions or the best competitors don't make good coaches because they're probably going to be coaching people assuming he's just like me.
Yeah.
He wants to work his butt off, and he's going to do anything and everything that's necessary and possible and sacrifice everything to and make this a 100% priority over all other activities and responsibilities to win or to go to that next level.
Yeah.
And that's, you can't talk to everybody the same way you talk to yourself as a competitor. As I think the original core tradition of martial arts was like preparing for war, preparing for battle.
Sure.
That's where it started from.
Of course, a martial, right?
Martial.
Military.
Yeah.
Right? Of course.
And not everybody wants that. Some people just want to feel better, lose some weight.
And I think
there's so many different levels and on the scale of how much am I willing to give? How much am I willing to come?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Well, I think understanding who you're coaching too matters. Like I personally, I love coaching fundamentals. I really like coaching fundamentals, like because it is one, my jujitsu is fundamental jujitsu, number one, and then but two, those guys like it's all fresh and novel, and you can the first year of jujitsu, it's like someone's like a newborn infant.
Yeah.
Like you can really make or break their experience and their whole taste for jujitsu. That's when injury rates are the highest. That's when they were their idea or concept of grappling is fresh. So I think that matters. We're gonna add. It sounds like our audio and video got better. We are going to 4 different destinations here, so we're asking a lot of our bandwidth at the moment. That could be part of it. Let's do. I got one final one. What is one tradition in jiu-jitsu worth fighting for to protect the future of the art?
Well, you couldn't really say the belt system because everybody is different on how they promote. So that would be a hard one to quantify in that. But I would say competition.
So, Joe, what aspect of? Because before I pipe in, what aspect of competition?
So
'Cause that's never going away. Like that will never go away.
yeah, and when I say what's one aspect of tradition that we should never go away, and it's competition, and it doesn't mean you should be a competitor, but it's a real test of like somebody going at you 100%, and like if you have a strategy in jiu-jitsu, this is mainly what you do. You get a takedown, you get on top, you get a submission. That's the best place to test it. And even for a hobbyist that's at one point in their life, they should always test their jiu-jitsu in a tournament.
I think so.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing that shouldn't go away because the origins of jiu-jitsu, where it's the best fighting system, we are the best.
It's got a violent background.
Yeah, so they were being tested as a means of like daily and weekly. Like that was how jiu-jitsu came up.
So what's your stance? I'm curious. So I was talking with Joe Briza, who he coaches wrestling here now, and he does judo, and to earn his judo belt, it was really interesting. If he wants to earn his brown belt, he has to beat 4 brown belts in competition, 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And if he wants to earn his black belt, he has to beat 4 or 5 black belts in competition.
Yeah.
Like that's the standard. His professor won't budge on it.
Yeah, I think
it's solid. Now the question begs where the first black belt come from, but we're past those days, right?
Yeah.
Like so.
That's a good question.
Yeah, so right. So you keep going back, like hey, but I think that's
Call
solid.
him master if you keep going back.
Yeah, right. I think that's solid. Like that's a pretty good litmus test, right?
I love that, and he was telling me about that the other day.
Yeah.
And there's like he had to compete against somebody else, and like he was telling me the match that he lost, one of the matches that he lost. By the way, it was somebody. How old is Joe?
Like 45.
Okay, he lost to somebody that was like around 30
Yeah,
or 30 or something like that. So, like right there, it's not an even test.
Right.
But anyway, so many good things come from competition because like he was telling me about it and what he should have did differently. And he's like, he set me up. And he learned something that he will never, ever forget. And that one of the beautiful things that come from competition is you learn something that you will never forget.
Yeah.
And you can equate one competition to like months and months and months of training. Like it's amazing.
The sting, the pain of the loss sticks with you longer.
Yeah.
And so
it's like
I
being in
agree.
a car accident and you can remember it in slow motion.
Yeah. Yeah. So we should adapt. I mean, how many people would we lose if we adapted that overnight right now? Like, you need to beat 5 blue belts in competition before you can get your blue belt. So don't talk to me about it. How many people would we lose? Dozens is the answer. Dozens, with certainty. With certainty.
Yeah, that's a tough one because
Because some people, they just won't compete. Number one, they just won't compete.
Yeah, but the way, like, again, you're not talking about a fight. You're not talking about it's a competition, and depending on the competition, if you've only been training 1 year or 2 years, if you came in with like 5 years of like wrestling, like immediately, if you're you have to expect to be on your back. If you come in with zero wrestling and then you pull guard. And you're zero wrestling, and you plan to get a takedown, and all you work is passing.
What if you did that? Like, I know this is open chat, open forum right now, but like if you were like, hey, we've got our own subjective, like we'll evaluate you, but if you want to skip the short line, get 10 gold, win 10 absolute gold medals at tournaments, and we'll give you your blue belt. Or 8 or 7, like, so you win at what? Not absolute, like open
He's
weight,
so
but
unreasonable sometimes.
It's not unreasonable, but
He's
it's not unreasonable. But because it's like the amount of like
You're saying if I did that, you wouldn't give me my belt?
You know what?
No, you definitely would get it. But like, he is
there we
like,
go, right? So the goal
What
is smart.
What if your instructor told you that at white belt?
Then I at least knew the goal, right? I at least knew the goal.
That would turn you off so bad.
Yeah.
That would scare people.
Because like, if I haven't quit jiu-jitsu by now, like I wasn't going to quit.
We're not talking about now. We're talking about David, like 2 years in, you got to win 10 gold medals. Just the thought of that is like crazy.
No.
It seems unreachable.
Because to me, like, it was so much more, like, it's objective. I had no idea what coach was looking for my blue belt. I have no idea what he was looking for my purple. No idea what he was looking for my brown. None. Like, none. Still don't know why I got him. Like, I just know I was blue belt for 5 years, and I think he's like, well, we should probably get this guy a belt, right? Like, and I was purple belt for 5 years. Yeah, we should probably get this guy a belt. Like, and I think the only reason I got my brown is because we were like opened. Like, I think that's a big portion of. He's like, yeah, we can't have an affiliate as a purple belt, so like, let's get this dude's brown. I was purple belt for 5 years, but like, I still don't really know why. Shout out to Keanu, he's a beast. Do you know a Jose Mania? Keanu?
Yeah, he's a friend of mine. He just found out last night that I've been doing jiu-jitsu for like 3 years.
He is a beast. Yeah, I think something like that would be. Dude, we should do that. I think that'd be like pretty straightforward. Like, you win 5 gold medals at local tournaments.
Listen, I would.
There you go.
I would support that if anybody wants to take that route.
Yeah.
Yes, I would support it.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to take that route and you want to do a traditional route,
there's got to be an alternative, right?
Yeah.
All right, y'all. So, did I miss any comments or anything?
Nope.
No?
Just that Pay the Cost guy was trying to help us with our issue.
I think it is I think it could be our why. I think we're asking too much going to 4 destinations.
It goes back and forth. Sometimes it's smooth and then it becomes choppy. Like, there's nothing I can do.
Yeah, no, it's definitely it's our bandwidth speed.
We are submitting to everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, we're on 2 YouTube channels and 2 Facebook.
And I'm also live streaming it to monitor them.
Oh,
I'm watching it.
Oh, oh, yeah. So that's a lot, man. I would say it would make me pay the cost. Does say on this. It would make me want to work harder and show how serious I was to climbing and learning while under you guys. Right, yeah. I mean, that's... And it would attract people like you. But there are other people who are like, well, that's not fair. I can't compete because of, I got Saturday. I work Saturdays. And I can't... Like, there's always an excuse, There's people who are like... that you're either going to find a reason not to, or you're going to find a reason to.
I feel sorry for David's kids. He's got to be so tough on them. Poor kids.
I don't. You should hear me. You should hear me and Scarlett like go back and forth, man. She.
Wait till she gets older.
What lesson do you teach? What lesson do you teach?
Wait till she gets older, and then you get softer.
Yeah, I mean, right now I'm young and energetic. Yeah. I'm sure, and like it's funny. So I'm one of 5 kids, and you like Phil's. There's a 12-year spread between the oldest and youngest.
Phil's 12 years older than you?
No, not me. He's 12 years older than Claire. Okay. So there's a between young, And you can see where my parents just like got tired. They got old and tired.
Yeah, man.
Like it happens.
It's a real thing.
But I appreciate that. Pay the cost, guys. Wherever you're seeing this, subscribe on YouTube, like us on Facebook, I guess, and it's not on Instagram. But if you're seeing a clip of this on the Reels, you can. What is it? Follow on Instagram. You follow on Instagram.
Like, follow, comment, share.
Follow, comment, subscribe. Cool. All right, guys. Well, Coach Fox and Professor Muhammad, as always, we'll see you guys on the mats.
Hopefully.